I am one of the leads who's been surprised by giant recording in progress screens. I'm one of the leads of the developer user group. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we're a user group, 5,000 members who meets every month to talk about all things programming. We're doing it for many, many years. And tonight is our annual Christmas fun night of doing a quiz. So let's get into it. My name is Robert, as you know, and we will be playing on a website called MyQuiz. So if you go to play.myquiz.org and use the code 00836893, that will let you get in. I will have that up on on the screens as we go along, so don't worry that I'm going to change my slides now. It's still there. So while everyone gets on there, let's talk about what's new this year compared to previous years. This is the third year we're doing this online. And so this year we're going with a little bit more focus on the software developers than we have in previous years. Previous years, we've done a little bit more general-ish, but there's still a lot of general knowledge in this. In fact, there's some of the hardest, most interesting questions here. So if you've got friends and family members over at your house, get them around your phone, tablet, whatever you're on to get some help. More than welcome to have people helping each other out here with tonight's competition. We've adjusted the time, so it's going to be a little bit trickier than last year. Last year, some people found it a bit too easy to Google the answers. If you can Google fast enough, go right ahead. Yeah, we're going to try and keep it nice and competitive with the time. Again, more points for answering faster. The faster you answer, the more points you get. So if you know the answer, just select it. Don't overthink it. You will get more points. Prizes for the top 20. So we have 25,000 rounds worth of prizes, and everyone in the top 20 will get prizes. Currently on the call, we have 28 people. So that means, and there's a couple of us from the user group here. So there's a pretty good chance for everyone to get some prizes tonight. So let's talk about what the sections we're going to play tonight. Most of this won't mean anything till you see them. So we'll start off with some questions on the user group, the history about it, maybe some things about what we've been doing this year. If you look at our Meetup page quickly, it might be useful. We'll talk about some timelines, some famous geeks. We'll do what's in a name. We've got some Law and Order special quiz stuff. We brought back the logo quiz from many years ago, which is one of my favorites. We have the geeky GeoGuessr-like section. We have a section on recycling. Then the always fun, what programming language is this? Is this just my bad coding? Who knows? Then we have questions on genetics, the main course, which is all food related. And finally, the horrible, the painful, the terribly difficult new section called catchphrase. So how does scoring work for this? If you get all the options right, you get 100 points. If you select an incorrect answer alongside a correct one, so if there are more than one available, you'll get 20 points per correct one. And if you get everything wrong, you get 0 points. And then we get points for speed, so whoever gets first gets 50 points based on their speed. So if you get all the answers correct, you can get some nice bonus points to help you go along quickly that way. But why are we here? Well, it's to win some awesome prizes tonight. And what do we have available? So if you come in the bottom 5, so 20 through 15th, our great friends over at JetBrains have issued us a set of vouchers for you. So those you can use to redeem any of JetBrains products. If you come in 14th place, you win the Marvel Edition Codenames board game. In 13th place is 2 motion-activated night lights and a temperature sensor and humidity monitor system. So if you want to make your house a fully smart home, this is a great way to do it. In 12th place, you would get a massive 30,000 power bank, really needed with load shedding today. In 11th place, you can get a Steam voucher or a Lego store voucher. You can choose. In 10th place, you get the Cooler Master MS110 keyboard and mouse combo. So if you want a fancy new keyboard and mouse for next year, that is a great way to get it. Number 9 is the Lego Mandalorian helmet set. So a big Lego piece. Number 8 is a Raspberry Pi 02 PC, one of the little tiny PCs ones. So it's an all-in-one kit, so everything you need to get up and running with a Raspberry Pi. Number 7 is a smart speaker. Number 6, I wish I could get this, is a dash cam. So you can make videos of all the idiots on the road and post it onto Reddit and get all those fat internet points. Number 5, I wish I could also get a quadcopter drone. Go fly around, take photos of all your neighbors, like backyards. I don't know what you do with a quadcopter, but at least you'll have one. Number 4 is a professional studio USB podcast and microphone kit. It's better than what I have. So yeah, and then let's get into the top 3 prizes. And if you come third, you get an AlphaBot robotic vacuum cleaner. I have a robotic vacuum cleaner. I cannot tell you how awesome it is. Just turn the thing on, come back 20 minutes later, find it stuck on a carpet, but it's cleaned up the house along the way. So winners and losers there. Number 2, you get a pre-cut Joy starter bundle. If you've ever wanted to make like decals or do things for your car or make your own stickers or do things for clothing, the pre-cuts are amazing. Absolute must-have. Really awesome. Wish I could win these prizes. And if you come first, you get a Connex projector and screen. So you can go outside or inside your house and have a massive screen and watch movies and TV and soccer and whatever you need. Or just play video games, or just, write code on a giant projector, because why not? Right. Some price rules that we have to do. Everything's subject to availability. If it's out of stock, we'll let you know and get you something similar. And if you're online in South Africa, we can't ship to you because we have to ship all the prizes to you. Before I get thank yous, the way the prizes work, if you come in one of the top 20, you'll get a little code at the end of the evening. Please email to us. It will be on the screen at the end, and then our lovely team will sort you out. Before we get to the quiz, let's do some important thank yous. So I want to thank all the leads of the user group. Some of them are with us tonight. Bradley, Brian, Candace, Evolt, Ezra, Joan, Joshua, and of course, Anati. They have all worked exceptionally hard this year to run the user group, organize events, get things set up. I just pitch up once a year and do this. It's amazing. So I get all the credit and they do all the work. So thank you so much for all of that. And also just want to say special thanks to Marie. I know she's on the call. She does all of our admin for us. She's the person who will be shipping out the prizes. We owe her massive debt for everything she does to help keep this user group ticking along every year. Important things you must know. Some questions have multiple answers. A lot of them are just single answers. There are no obvious indicators if there is single or multiple, so keep your eyes peeled, think about it. You must click confirm before the time runs out. We do also have a couple questions that require typing. So if you're on your phone, just tap on the little box and your keyboard will appear. But yeah, there might be 1 or 2 that need some typing as well. Right. Nobody saw that. You didn't see what's coming for later. Right. Everybody ready? All right. So we've got 30 people on the call, and I will try and toggle over to here. Right. We've got 18, 20-ish people on the quiz. Remember, if you want to play, you must join the quiz. It's play.myquiz.org. And there's the quiz code 8800836893. We'll give everyone I think we'll just let a couple more people join and we'll get started in about a minute or so. And until then, I will put back on the really geeky Christmas carols. Oh, if anybody does have questions, please feel free to put put in the chat message in the chat system in Zoom. Joshua, Marie, myself are all in there, so we can help out as well.
Ship bell rings, are you listening? On the deck, the snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're drunkards tonight, pirating a winter wonderland. Blown away is the bluebird.
All right. I think we got enough people. We waited enough for everyone to get in. So now we'll get started with the Geek of the Year quiz. All right. Everybody in? Last chance. Click what you need to click. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. Here comes our questions. The first round is all going to be about the developer user group. First question. Are you aware there's an amazing conference for you in May next year called DevConf, and calls for speakers are now open? Do not get this one wrong, please. This is also how I do sneaky advertising. You've heard of product placement. This is how we do it. There we go. Everyone, 100% score. That is perfect. Well done, everybody. Who has been the sponsor for the developer user group this year? Is it Tarsus On Demand or is it Tarsus On Demand? Again, we want to thank our sponsors and make sure you have an opportunity to think about who they are. We can't do the user group without them, and they help pay for all these prizes. So yeah, you can go check out Tarsus On Demand on that website at tarsusondemand.coza. Right, question number 3. For years, we have asked you to shout out this character's catchphrase during the Geek of the Year. What is his catchphrase? The answer is Bazinga. Used to, every time in our Geek of the Year when we did in person, we'd have this appear on screen, people like yell this out. Number 4 for this. Ewald Horn, one of our leads, spoke in September about which programming language? C#, Java, Kotlin, Rust, or C++? Ooh, fine. Yeah, getting some more people getting it wrong, but it seems Ewald's talk was really popular with most of you remembering it. On to the final question. What was the original name of the developers user group? Was it the languages user group, developers, the .NET UG, or software engineering in South Africa? It was the languages UG. Oh, we got you all there. Some 14 years ago, we started it, Mark Pearl and myself, and it was originally the languages user group before becoming the developers user group because languages is too narrow a focus. Right, and so that brings us to the end of the first round. The sneaky sort of questions there out of the way. We got our leaderboard up there with Andreas at number 1. Everybody's still easily to catch him. Remember, you can, if you are getting here late, you can join now, play.myquiz.org, and the code is up on the screen here. It's still possible for you to get in and dethrone Andreas. So let's kick off round 2. Which one of these came first, Windows or the internet? The internet, it came first. Officially, birthday is in 1983, where Windows only really came out officially 2 years later in 1985. It makes no sense to me either. Which one of these came first, the electric kettle or sliced bread? Would be a bit more helpful. Automatically sliced bread that a machine could do. Oh, it was the kettle. The kettle was invented in 1891, but automatic sliced bread by machine was only invented in 1928. It's insane to think that we were having tea without toast for so many years. Which one of these came first? Was it the game Pac-Man, or was it the Sony Walkman? Oh, yep. It was the Walkman, released originally in 1979, where Pac-Man was only released a year later. Oh, these tricky questions are exceptionally tricky tonight. Which one of these came first? Google or Yahoo? I mean, we know which one has survived best, but which one of these was the first one to come out? Yahoo was founded in 94, which everybody seems to know. Google, though, took 4 more years. Which of these disasters came first? The Hindenburg disaster or the sinking of the Titanic? Oh, a lot of people getting that wrong, but the majority getting it right, knowing that the Titanic sank in 1912, where the Hindenburg was in 1939. Penultimate for this round, which of these came first? The Fantastic Four or the X-Men? Oh, yeah. Fantastic Four, first published in 1961, X-Men in 1963. I am shocked by the X-Men being that old when setting this up. I thought the X-Men was, much cooler, much newer, probably something from the 80s, but nope, all the way back in the 1960s. And which of these finally came first? Was it Starbucks or Star Wars? Somebody on the chat was asking, was that the chocolate song from the Polar Express before we started? Yes, it was. Starbucks appeared in 1971, but Star Wars only in 1977. That one has caught out a lot of people. Let a few people catch up nicely in the points. And that'll bring us to the end of round 2. And you can see Ross has taken over the lead from Andreas. So now we'll go on to round 3, famous geeks. This may take a moment on your screen to appear. You can also watch on the Zoom. There will be pictures here of famous geeks. You've got to tell me who they are. So who is this famous geek? Is it Alan Turing, John Carmack, Gordon Moore, Ralph Baer, or Steve Wozniak? Everybody, majority of you getting it right, knowing it's Alan Turing, famous theoretical computer scientist, basically built the first real computer, helped defeat the Nazis, has a great statue of him in the UK. Really important person to all geeks. Who is this famous geek, or is this famous geek? Ray Tomlinson, John Carmack, Gordon Moore, Ralph Baer, or Steve Wozniak? This is Ralph Baer, who was the developer of what was the Brown Box, the first ever video game console. So when a 13-year-old is yelling at you in Fortnite for being bad at the game, this is the man you can blame for it. Who is this famous geek? Is this Ray Tomlinson, John Carmack, Gordon Moore, John Romero, or Steve Wozniak? That is John Carmack, originally founder at id Game Studios, maker of Quake and Doom and all things explosives. Later went on to do rockets and eventually ended up at Facebook with building Oculus. Really, really talented software developer. Who is this famous geek? Is that Ray Tomlinson? Is it SpongeBob SquarePants, Gordon Moore, John Romero, and Steve Wozniak? I think you can see I was running out of like interesting names to put on this with some of these answers. Majority of getting it. Steve Wozniak partnered with Steve Jobs to create Apple. Steve was the business, the salesman, and was the brains. We can thank him for everything Apple nowadays. It all ties back to his work. Number 5 in our section, who is this famous geek? Ray Tomlinson, SpongeBob SquarePants, Gordon Moore, John Romero, or Douglas Engelbart? It is Gordon Moore, co-founder of Intel, and also the guy who came up with Moore's Law. Speaking of Moore's Law, according to Moore's Law, what doubles every 2 years? The price of a chip, the speed of a CPU, the number of transistors in an integrated circuit, the capital cost of a semiconductor fabrication plant. The number of transistors in an integrated circuit. The capital cost of a semiconductor fabrication plant is Moore's second law, also known as Rock's law. I only learned that when I was trying to read up on this one to make sure I had the right answer. So now you not only know one law, you know 2 laws. So that is the end of round 3. Ross keeps the lead. At one point there, I did notice Andreas was up into second. It is that tight. 1 or 2 questions, you can easily climb up 5 to 6 places in this. So go on to round number 4. What is in a name? Which band derives its name from a unit of measurement? Is it Korn, Anthrax, Megadeth, or Aerosmith? It is Megadeth, which is the count for 1 million deaths, mostly used in reference to nuclear warfare. It's like a horrendous thought of what its name means. Number 2, which video game derives its name from a nuclear physics term? Is it Half-Life, Fallout, Titanfall, or Fortnite? So it's which video game, not which video. Clearly making these things up late at night is not good. Yes, it's Half-Life. It's the time required for the quantity to reduce. Fallout is related to nuclear things, but not nuclear physics. Number 3, which of these people have planets named after them? Marilyn Monroe, Leonard Nimoy, Hayao Miyazaki, Charlie Chaplin, and Ronald Reagan. This has multiple answers because there's which of these people, just a clue. Marilyn Monroe, Leonard Nimoy, and Miyazaki all have planets named after them. The names of the planets are really kind of weird, but they are listed down there at the bottom. It's all like, you know, a number and a planet. But these are real official planets, not made up planet names that you buy on the internet. What is a bazinga, actually? Is it a type of jellyfish, a type of horse, a type of rodent? Is it an entirely made up word, or is it a type of bee? It is both a type of jellyfish and a type of bee. There's some very fancy technical stuff down there. So it's not a made-up word. Give you all a moment to finish reading lots of fancy science stuff in the note. Which of these were invented in New York? The Philadelphia cheesecake, Arizona tea, Haagen-Dazs ice cream, California fried chicken, or visceros, I can't pronounce things. That last one on the list there. According to Tristan, John Carmack was also the guy that John Romero had the most arguments with. I have heard that as well. That's why I think they don't work together for many, many years. Philadelphia ice cream, Haagen-Dazs, and the other one are all made in New York. California fried chicken and Arizona tea are not made where we think they are made as well. They're made in other places, but not in New York. There's a list of names here. These names were rejected for which company, whether they're rejected names for Apple, Microsoft, Intel, or Pixar. Some of the names on there: Colex, Elcal, Kelcom, Elcom, Digicom, Comptech, Distech, Xtech. So many people getting that. These were all the original names that were originally proposed for Intel before it became Intel. And finally, for this section, what was Java called before it was Java? It's the Java programming language. What was it called? Maple, oak, tree, coffee, or was it called JavaScript? And then became Java. It was named Oak because James Gosling, the creator of the Java programming language, looked at a tree outside his window and named it. It's probably the best naming strategy in all of programming. And that brings us to the end of round number 4. Ross is still up there at number 1, but not a big lead there. Alan right behind him. Moving on to our next section, all about crime and law. At the 2015 Melbourne Cup, a woman placed a bet at 100-to-1 odds and won, but she did not get her prize money. Why? She posted a winning ticket to Facebook and somebody copied it. She used a fake name as she was a celebrity and was arrested for fraud. She had stolen the ticket or she was underage. Yeah. Nice variety there, but yeah, she posted her ticket to Facebook and somebody picked it up and saw the photo, printed it out, went and claimed it. So don't post things to the internet. Samuel Upham was made fake dollars, but when investigated by government agents, it was dismissed. He was not charged with anything. Why was that the case? The fakes were so bad, no one believed him. The fakes were for another country, not recognized. He owned the only mint in the country. The fakes were so good, the government couldn't prove that they weren't real. They were for a country that wasn't recognized. It's all got to do with the American Civil War, and he printed copies of the Union currency, which the Confederates didn't recognize, so they couldn't do anything about it. And those fake notes were used for years and years in the Union states. I clicked way too quickly there. Sorry, we'll skip that one. There we go. Number 4. A surgeon at Birmingham's Queen Elizabeth Hospital was suspended in December 2020 for undermining the trust between patient and doctor. Why? He used a laser to put his initials on people's organs. Ew. He was not actually a doctor. He could not actually see. He took selfies with patients when they were under anesthetic. Yep, he put his initials on people's organs with a laser, and he was only found when somebody else looked at it later on. Looked at the organs later on during a transplant and found his initials on it. Really bad. Number 5, if you broke the rules at the ancient Olympics, what happened when you were caught? It might be multiple on this one as a hint. Statues were made of them. They were fined. They could be excluded from future games. They were forced to participate in a tug of war over a pit of filth. Yes. So everything except for the tug of war was true. My favorite part of this is the statues were made and they were put up outside the event, outside the stadiums, so that people would look at them and know who the people who were not allowed to come back in. I think it's just brilliant. Like, you just get a famous statue and just have it forever there. Why did Sweden give 1.3 million euros to drug dealers after they were arrested? They were seized with Bitcoin, which went up in value during the process. Their plea bargain had 2 extra zeros added by mistake. A cop stole their winning lotto ticket when arresting them. The government sold their cars before they were proven to be innocent. Yeah, some of you got this. They were seized with Bitcoin, and the government in Sweden wrote down the euro price, and then the price of Bitcoin went up. And so they were still only had to give the government of Sweden 130 euros, and they got to take the rest back. And that takes us to round number 6. We got Alan right at the top. His lead has shrunk. It was about 90 before. Oh, no, sorry, Ross was in front. His lead was about 90 before. Now he's 8 behind Alan. So all to play for. Again, this round will have pictures in it. So it might take a moment to come up. Make sure you've got the zoom up as well. And we'll be looking at logos of famous companies. Some of these logos are logos that are current, or some of the logos might be quite old. Some of the logos might have something covered up to make it harder. So let's see what all of these logos are for. Number 1, which company's logo is this? Very subtle hint that I might have covered up something on this. I know my Photoshop skills are amazing, but it is there. If you look carefully, you can see where I've touched this up. This is the logo for Apple. Everyone who got that right. Which logo is this for? Yeah, a lot of you getting it. Cisco Network Solutions, named after San Francisco, where it's based, and their logo, a combination of Wi-Fi signal and Golden Gate Bridge. Which company's logo is this? And as a clue, this is not their current logo. This is a very old logo. It has also been slightly edited to take out the name. Ooh, not a lot of answers. 10 answers, 11. Ooh, this is Netflix logo. If you are one, I think it might be one person who got that. Congratulations. I will be showing you all the actual unedited logos in a moment, so don't worry about that. Which company's logo is this? Lots of people, much better than our previous one. Many people knowing exactly who this belongs to. Yeah, lots of you getting that. This is Meta, previously known as Facebook. Owners of all your grandparents' weird messages. And final question for this section, whose logo is this? This is a question for people who are dealing with back pain because it's old. This is Napster, famous for helping everyone learn how to pirate on the internet. And that will bring us to the end of this section with my handy note that I should go back to the slides. So let's have a look at those logos for a moment. That is what the Apple Computer Company logo looked like before it was turned into the famous Apple with the little bite out of it that we all know today. But originally it was this with Isaac Newton sitting under a tree with an apple. There is Cisco's logo with their type mark on it. Netflix's original logo when they used to ship DVDs to people's houses. Meta, we all know. And that is it, because the Napster one is just the Napster one. There's no difference there. Round number 7 is GeoGuessr. And in this round, you'll be getting pictures of famous geeky places. and you got to tell me where it is. In terms of scoreboard, it's all to play for. Ross is there. He's dropped down a bit. At one point, I think on the penultimate question of that round, I saw Mark Raffi up in first place. It is that close. You can go from first to third in one question. So all to keep playing for. Right. Why is this place special? The movie Gladiator's famous farm scene was here. It's the hill from the Windows XP wallpaper Bliss. It's the most expensive Italian wine. The most expensive Italian wine in the world is made here. It's the only farm in the world run by pigs. Many of you getting that this is from the XP wallpaper Bliss. It's in Sonoma County in California. I will have some cool more slides in a moment to show you exactly what that looks like in comparison to the XP wallpaper. Why is this place special? It's the only natural pond in the UAE. It's the smallest ocean in the world. The Teletubbies was filmed here. The pond is square, but due to an optical illusion, it looks round in the photo. Many of you getting it. Many of you clearly fans of the Teletubbies. It looks nothing like it, and I'll show you a photo of that after this round. It used to have a whole building, a whole like mounded building, but the people who owned the farm were so angry with people breaking in that they tore it all down and turned it into a pond to stop people trespassing. Why is this place special? It is Tatooine from Star Wars. It's the driest place on Earth. It is where the land speed record was set. It's the only place on Earth where no humans have ever lived. It's where the current land speed record has been set. It's Black Rock Desert, and current land speed record was set there in 1997. There was an attempt to beat the land speed record in 2021. We know why that didn't happen, but that was going to take place in the Kalahari. Why is this place special? It's the garage that Microsoft started in, the garage that Amazon started in, the garage that Apple started in, or the garage that Google started in. I don't know if all those companies started in garages, but they might have. It's the garage that Apple started in, and that is Steve Jobs standing there out in front of it to try and help people along. Number 5, why is this place special? It's the headquarters of Apple, it's the headquarters of Meta, it's the headquarters of the CIA, or it's the headquarters of Amazon. Yes, many of you getting it right. It's Apple's new fancy headquarters that all the keynotes and everything happens from. So originally, you're supposed to only have one bathroom in the whole building, but they had to can that for health and safety reasons. But the idea was to be one bathroom and you had to walk all the way around to force people to network and mingle. Sounds horrendous. And lastly, why is this place special? It is the headquarters of Microsoft. It is the headquarters of Meta or Facebook. It is the headquarters of the CIA, or it is the headquarters of Amazon. Yep. Oh, split there between Facebook and Amazon. This is Apple's headquarters in Seattle. One of these big dome things, all filled with beautiful trees and lush greenery. This is when it was all sort of just finishing up their construction of it. But they have these big domes and many other things. Thank you, previous me, for telling me to go check the slides. I would have forgotten. So there is the picture of the rolling hills, and there's the famous Bliss wallpaper that was photographed and put into a pack of common, like just stock photos, and someone from Microsoft took it out and turned it into the Bliss wallpaper. There is the Teletubbies set before and after tourists had been there so often they had annoyed the farmers that had got torn down and turned into a pond so nobody would come back in. Right, let's jump back to round number 8, titled Recycling. I see we've got a new leader. Nick Orian's up in number 1. Mark Raffi's come up to number 2. Alan's in there, Ross in there. Everyone's still there to play for. We are a little bit over halfway, but we still got plenty of questions to go. Right. What monument, nicknamed the Iron Lady, was originally called Useless and Monstrous? The Statue of Liberty, the Eiffel Tower, Motherland Calls, or the Little Mermaid? This section is called recycling because the questions in this comes from a previous event. So if you've been to a previous Geek of the Year, you will know these answers. This is the Eiffel Tower. This question was asked last year, and the Eiffel Tower was built for the World's Fair in Paris. It was supposed to be temporary, and all the people in Paris hated it so much, and they wanted it torn down at the end of the World's Fair, and it's, can't think of Paris without it nowadays. Last year, in this quiz, I asked how many times South Africa won the Rugby World Cup, and I got it wrong, much to Joshua's anger. I thought it was once, twice, 3 times, or 4 times. So what was the wrong answer I said was correct last year? It can't be 3. All of you people who picked 3, we've won 3 times. You're as bad as I was, but now we have all learned. Last year, I said we had won twice in the Rugby World Cup. So that was embarrassing. I've got to relive all my embarrassments. Number 3, there is one statue on the moon. What is the statue of? Is it of JFK, an astronaut, a UFO, or a wedge of cheese? Tristan's saying, yep, the Statue of Liberty is made of copper. Yep, it's copper on an iron frame. The statue on the moon is of an astronaut. It was secretly put there. It wasn't supposed to be put there, and it's to remember the 8 astronauts and 6 cosmonauts that had died in service to that point. So they snuck it up there. V-Bucks are the in-game currency for which video game? Is it Candy Crush, World of Warcraft, FIFA, or Fortnite? Many of you know the answer to this. Fortnite, this question was originally asked in our 2020 event. Question number 5. Stan Lee is the king of cameos, but who else has had a cameo in an MCU film? There may be more than one answer. Miley Cyrus, Morgan Freeman, Rob Zombie, Nathan Fillion from Firefly, and Tom Hanks. Right. Miley Cyrus has been in it. She played Mainframe at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, or did the voice at least. Rob Zombie was one of the Ravagers in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and Nathan Fillion was a blue alien in the prison scene in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. So yeah, everybody but Morgan Freeman and Tom Hanks, it seems. Where is the original London Bridge today? Is it over the Thames River in London, in the Thames River in London, over a lake in Arizona, outside the Paris Las Vegas Hotel and Casino, or it's a trick question? There's no London Bridge, it's called Tower Bridge. Yep, it's over a lake in Arizona. When the bridge was widened in the early 19th century, it got too heavy and started to sink. And so they sold it so they could build a new one. And it was bought by an American who moved it stone by stone to Arizona, and now spans a lake in Arizona for some reason. The first TV show to be broadcast with Dolby surround sound was Firefly, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The A-Team, Elf, or The Bold and the Beautiful. This question came from our 2018 quiz, and the first TV show that had Dolby surround sound was Elf, the alien life form, the little weird Muppet thing that tried to eat our family's cat. Much laugh tracks were had in the 80s with that show. And that brings us to the end of round 8. We've got new leader up there with Nikayan leading the way. New people on the board, 28 SCs come up here into 8th place. We'll move on to one of everyone's favorite places from sections, program languages, where you get to see some code. You got to tell me what language it belongs to. Right, what programming language is this? I'm not even read out the code, you can see, but is it Java, C, Python, Scala, or Kotlin? you don't know, guess is good. Don't lose points for not knowing. It's Kotlin. I always can spot Kotlin because all their functions always are called fun. It's like they're trying to make you really love the language by having fun written down all the time in it. What programming language is this? C, Java, Python, Scala, or JavaScript? One tiny set line with the grammar error. Now that I look at it, commas should be shifted. Python, many of you getting that correct. Which programming language is this? C, Java, Rust, Scala, or JavaScript? We got some objects. Def main might be a hint. Ooh, caught out a lot of people. This is Scala. Looks very similar to me to Java, but this actually belongs to Scala. Number 4, what programming language is this? C, Java, Rust, C++, or JavaScript? We have a header include there. Main function that returns an integer. It's C. This is not C++ yet. What programming language is this? Another include statement. Got a namespace in this. Again, a main function returns an integer. Interesting way of writing to the screen. C out, angle bracket, angle bracket. Yes. Nice and every large number you're getting at. This is C++. Previously C, and now we did C++. Number 6. What programming language is this? Class hello world, public static void main, system.out.println. Is it C#, Rust, Golang, Java, or JavaScript? It's system.out there. That's a hint. Yep, that's Java. Number 7, which programming language is this? C#, Rust, Golang, PHP, or JavaScript? I feel like you shouldn't get this one wrong. Just saying, I feel like it might be a bit of an easy one. Take your time, read the question, as teachers always like to say. I don't know who there's one person who's like, no, I'm going to get this wrong on purpose. But yeah, everyone else, majority of you got that one right. So definitely big points there for speed. And lastly, what programming language does a console.log in? Is it C#, Rust, Golang, Ruby, or JavaScript? Think about where you have a console all the time. May you have one close to you right now. Yep, majority of you getting that right with JavaScript. That brings us to the end of round 9. Move on to round number 10, genetics. All questions about genes and what makes up people. Have a look at comments though. Lots of people complaining about semicolons, which is exactly what you should be doing as a programmer. Always complain about semicolons. Right, so genetics. 5 questions in this section. Is weight loss ability inherited? Yes, only from your mother. Yes, only from your father. Both, no. Yes, it is only from your mother's side. There is a study published in Nature which talks about how much brown fat you have inherited, which is a genetic thing, and then that controls your metabolism. I cannot pronounce words. Number 2, are your chances to develop ADHD inherited? Yes, from your mother. Yes, from your father. Yes, from both, or no. Yes, from your mother. According to JAMA Psychiatry, you are more likely to develop ADHD based on the serotonin genes that you get from your mother. Not quite sure if that's a great study or not, but that's the one we went with. Are your facial expressions inherited? It's the way your face moves. Yes from your mother, yes from your father, yes from both, or no. Yeah. Me, I have terrible resting bitch face. So like, is that an inherited problem? Yes from both. According to the American Psychological Association, facial expressions are somewhat determined. The way they tested this was facial expressions of people who were born blind matched their parents. They could not have ever seen it. It blows my mind that somebody would even test for that. It's crazy. Is procrastination inherited? You know, the things you do to avoid work. Yes from your mother, yes from your father, yes from both, or no. Yes, it is inherited, probably from both. Yeah, there is something to do with a larger amygdala, which is passed down from parents, which means if you have that, you're more likely to procrastinate. But not all the procrastinations. Lastly, is sneezing when you look at the sun inherited? Yes, from both. There is a term for this, which I'm not even, autosomal dominant compelling heliothalamic outburst syndrome, which is basically if you get shown a bright light, you're more likely to have a sneeze. And that is genetic. And that brings us to the end of round 10. Nico Young's still up there at the top. Ross there, Mark's, Rafi's there, 28's there. Craig's on the list there, number 10th. Still enough time to get into that number 1 place. We move on to the main course, a section all about food and cooking. So, multiple choice here. What are the common ingredients of mayonnaise? Is it oil, egg, vinegar and lime juice, butter, plant mayo extract, or mayo plant extract, mayo plant extract? What are the things you would use to make a common standard scientific mayonnaise? Mayonnaise, mostly oil, egg, lemon juice, vinegar. Doesn't have butter, and there's no such thing as a mayo plant. I made that up. Number 2, what are the common ingredients in a hollandaise sauce? Same sort of things here: butter, egg, vinegar or lemon juice, oil, and water from a Dutch tulip. Right, it's butter, eggs, vinegar, lemon juice. Oil would be in the mayonnaise, more mayonnaise than hollandaise. And water from a Dutch tulip just sounds really nice, right? But it's not really a thing. Number 3, a burrito is named after a donkey. True or false? Yes, it is. This comes from the Spanish word burro, which means donkey. And it's named that because, you know, donkeys carry lots of things. And so you put lots of things in a burrito. That's how they get that name. So yes, next time you think of burritos, you can think of donkeys. Number 4, Bombay duck is made of fish, duck, chicken, or turkey. It's made of fish. Any of the other ones that would make a lot more sense. It's a dried salted fish. It was originally called Bombay duck, which is the name of the train. And then, you know, Europeans arrived in India and decided to not pronounce things correctly and listen to it. And so now it got colonialized. Number 5, which of these are not the name for an apple variety? So many different types of apples exist, but which ones are not apples? The Baldwin, the Cosmic Crisp, the Strawberry, the Dog, and the Zuma. Is there a Zuma apple? The real question is, if there's a Zoom apple, is there a Cyril apple? So the two ones that do not exist are a dog apple and a Zoom apple. Those are made up. But there is a Baldwin apple, a Cosmic Crisp apple, and a strawberry apple, which I think is just some, botanist's idea of torturing everybody. Is it a strawberry? Is it an apple? No, it's both. Tastes like an apple, though. Right. We move on to our final round. We've got Nico Jan in first place, Alan, and so on. And this is a little warm-up for the round. There are no points for this, but I want you to look at this picture on the screen right now, because this is what it's going to be like on all of these. And I want you to think what that means. A little hint on this. Think about something to do with dancing. What could I be trying to get you to say? Give you a moment. The answer is tutu, like the thing you wear in a ballet. So tutu. Got it? So I'm going to show you some pictures with some text on them, or way the text is laid out. And you need to tell me what it is and type in the answer. There is no time limit on this. So when I see enough people have answered, I will go on to the next one, because these can be fairly tricky. And so it's all to play for in this final round with the hardest questions. Nico Jan up in first place, got a bit of a lead, but I think in this section, definitely can be beaten. And remember, extra points for getting it first. Right, so the first one, the hint on this one is phone. Think about what you see there. Sometimes helps to just say what you see, literally. $18 answers. Anyone else come at 19? All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I see a bunch of people sneaking in the end. Give them a chance. All right. The answer is helpline, because it's a helpline. Sneaky trickiness. Moving on to our next one. What do you see here? There's no hint on this one. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's square dance. Ah, look at that. Lots of you getting it right this time. Well done, everyone. Square dance. Just, dance in a square. Move on to the next question. No hints on this one either. Not much to say really about this one. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's 7 C's, because it's 7 C's. These are so cheesy. Right. Keeping an eye on this leaderboard as you go, seeing how people are catching. That lead is shrinking for first place there. We still got 5 more to go. All chance there. Huh. What could this one be? So, I did all of these in PowerPoint. This one took way longer than you think it should have. It's really easy when you just have to type one out, but this, took much longer. Seeing answers come in much faster this time. I think lots of people are getting this one a lot easier. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step ladder. Ah, lots of you getting that. Well done to everyone who got that. Oh, that gap's closing now. That's getting close. Lots of competition. The gap for between 6th and 7th is 1 point. Everything to play for between Tristan and Mark for that 1 point. 4 points separate 4 and 5. So again, big opportunities to play for in the last 4 questions. The word overs. No hints again on this one. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leftovers. Well done to everyone who got that right. Oh, everyone's still so close together on this. So very close. Few questions left. Remember, we have prizes for the top 20 people, which means most of you are probably walking away with a prize tonight. So just how good a prize will it be? Number 6. No hints on this one. Oh, I think we've stumped some people here. It's a lot slower than previous ones. Only 16 people answered so far. Lots of points up for grab here. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's growing old. Of course it is. Look, it's old is growing old. 40% of you got it. Nice points there. Oh, and a big catch up there. Yeah, Nico, Jan, and Alan are really playing it right down to the death. Just a few 100 points, less, 200 points in it. Everything to play for. You can get it right. You can go down to either of them for the end of this round. Oh, Mark just fallen behind Tristan. Everything to catch back up. As we move into the penultimate question for the evening. No hints on this one either. What's crazy is I created all of these a while ago and I cannot remember what this one was. If you work this out, you're better than me who made the quiz, because I genuinely can't remember what I was trying to do with this one. Mostly, yeah. Oh, this is a tough one. I did say at the start of the competition, this new catchphrase section is tricky and horrible. Hopefully you are feeling that trickiness and horrible, but it gives opportunities for great catch-ups and points at the end. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Undertaker. 40% of you getting that right. Brilliant for all of you. Well done. Fantastic. Better than I could remember. So yes, still lots of people. Mark's just got in front of Tristan again. Alan nipping on the heels of Nico. Everything still to play for. Move into the final question of the evening. The hint is this is a 4-word answer. Ooh, that has a timer for some reason. Let's pause that timer. Because that shouldn't be there. That would be horrible. 15 seconds to work this out. A 4-word phrase. 2 people already in. Xander got his one in. Mark's in. Oh, this is a tough one. Oh, yours is paused. Oh, is it paused for everyone? Pause for putting the answers in. Oh no. All right. Well, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to press play, and you've got 9 seconds to type your answers in. I'm very sorry that this one has such a hard time limit on it. Lots of answers coming in. Head in the sand. Head in the green. The word head in green. The sand is there. Head in the sand. And that will bring us to the end of the evening. Thank you to everyone who played. Well done to Nikoyan for winning. Alan second. T. Batevy in 3rd place, and so on. Scroll down this, we can see everyone top 10 here. Well done to all of you. Remember that the top 20 people get prizes. You will have a message on your screen with the details on how to claim your prize with the special code word. You need to drop us an email, and we will get back. We will arrange delivery for your prize. If we have a look here, it will take down the rest of the prize winners on here. Lego League in 14th. I think that might actually be a Lego prize as well. Good for them. Unfortunately, people who didn't win any prizes tonight, but hopefully you had a lot of fun anyway. And thank you for joining. That will bring us to an end for tonight. I hope everyone has a fun festive season. No getting paged out to go fix servers, and that ESCOM gives us all electricity for Christmas. And thank you so much, and good night.